Welcome to the More Than Fitness podcast.
Accidentally bumped into my trash can as I was sitting down on the desk. If you watch the video podcast, you might have just seen that. However, it's a beautiful Monday at the time of recording this. It's 420. Shout out to anyone celebrating, I guess is the correct term for this, the holiday on 420. Marijuana for all of you guys who are unaware. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. Carl's snuggled up in his cat condo right now, just right out of frame, looking super adorable and fluffy as normal. But I think I've got a good minisode to go over with you guys today. So let me formally get started on this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to minisode number 30. Wow, minisode number 30. We've done 30 of these already. You guys, you've helped me out. Even though it never ceases to feel weird to speak into a microphone and a camera in front of me with no audience whatsoever. However, I enjoy it nonetheless, and I hope you guys do. And so yeah, welcome to ladies and gentlemen to minisode number 30 on the More Than Fitness podcast. And today's episode is going to be about, wow, I did pretty good on that. The burden of ambition, right? I don't have any notes written down for this minisode, if you couldn't already tell by the rambling so far in the first 2 minutes of this. However, this topic is something that I think about frequently because, so the name, the burden of ambition, everyone listening to this, myself included, we're all ambitious people. Many of you guys are probably type A, similar to me. I would say I'm mostly type A, more type A than type B or whatever other types there are, I guess. However, yeah, progressing, working hard, whatever that means, making money, being successful, providing for your family, getting shit done, basically, is the cornerstone of my happiness and probably the happiness of many of you all as well. But this ambition, this never ending ambition, it's basically like you can never be fully satiated, right? And I think that over these past few years or so, this is something that I have wanted to read into more. And I don't know if it's like, existentialism and just thinking about like, what is my role here? You know, as I get older, I'm 26. I know some of you still young, whatever, and some of you that might be even older, right? But there's questions on what should we be doing on a day-to-day basis? And I definitely don't have the answer for you, right? But I know that the burden of ambition can have its toll on you because it can seem like you are always chasing a horizon, right? And I got this term from Nate Green, one of my business mentors, great guy, but he talked about it in one of his articles, actually. And that's what he mentioned it as, is chasing the horizon. So if you see the horizon off in the distance and you start walking towards the horizon, you can feel like you're getting closer, but then you keep looking at the horizon and then it keeps going, right? You seem to not be making any progress whatsoever. That is until you turn around and look behind you and you can see, oh, wow, I've actually came really far along in this journey. And for type A people, for people like me, for people like you who are constantly focused on improvement, how can I get better? How can I make more money? How can I provide for my family better? How can I, fulfill my role in this world, whatever the hell that means? How can I do it better? More. What can I improve on? But the cost of this comes with a lot of anxiety and questioning and reflection. And it can be a struggle sometimes because, again, you can never fully be satiated with what we're trying to accomplish because you reach a goal and then what do you know? There's another goal right behind that. I talk about it with my bodybuilding show. After I won my pro card, after I won the competition, I was like, okay, well, what now? Because I worked so hard for this period of time, and then I get my goal, and then it's like, okay, what happens now? This happens with collegiate athletes, for example, after they get done with college, and if they don't go to the pros or something, they've been working their whole life towards this D1 scholarship or something. They go through school, and then they're done their senior year, and then what do they do next, right? And then that can create a lot of other anxiety and just wondering what is my purpose here. Or if you've reached financial freedom, for example, and you're able to provide for your family, you've gotten the job that you want, and I know for some people listening to that are going to have reached that financial independence, and then others maybe not. So you're still chasing after that. But I think it's important to understand that life has just been a series of games, and it's only going to be a series of games over and over and over again, because we are it's in our evolutionary traits of being a human. It's in our biology, right, to constantly improve upon our situation, and it's literally never ending, no matter how tippy top you get, right? There's always something that you can improve on. It's the hedonic treadmill, it's just, there's always going to be something to keep pushing you forward, or at least it's basically like you're never actually going to arrive at the destination that you're looking for, because that destination is relative and it's a moving target. It's not just, okay, you reach this point and then you're done. You've reached enlightenment. You're blissful, and life is good. It's like whenever you can realize that is not the case, and that we need something to be making progress on over time, I think that's whenever you can fully grasp the concept of being and becoming. And I know I've talked about this before, but I got it from the book Already Free by Bruce Tiff. But he basically talks about how we need both approaches. We need the acceptance of now and this moment and this moment and this moment, right? Like I'm okay with how things are going right now. I'm not in any immediate danger. I've got a shelter over my head. I've got food in the pantry outside. Things are good. Nothing is affecting my safety. I've accepted how things are right now. However, in my head, I can be thinking, oh, I need to send an email to that guy. I need to post this on Instagram. I need to make sure I record this podcast. I need to make sure I take care of those taxes, those bills. I need to make sure that me and my girlfriend get dinner ready later on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's constantly things in my head of becoming, of other things that I need to get done in order to progress myself forward. But if you just have one or the other, if I just have the acceptance, right, and I'm just here, and okay, things are fine. I've got food, I've got water, I've got shelter. I'm chilling, right? But then that can only go on so long before you become homeless, right? You do have bills to pay. You do have you need to make money. You need to make sure that you're doing things to fulfill yourself as well. But then on the flip side, if you only have becoming and you only have future, right? That can also be just as dangerous. You need that paradox. You need both of them at the same time in order to be truly happy. I think it's that combination of, okay, I am okay, right? I'm okay with whatever is going on right now. And even considering all things going on right now, some of you, there can be real shit going on in your life right now. But as long as you are still taking action every single day in order to get out of that situation, or you're combining that becoming part of all of this, I think that's what we need to do. But it's difficult, right? It's difficult when it just feels like there's never an end point. There's always going to be something. But it's just, I think whenever we can realize that, that's whenever we can truly understand. Well, you can take it experience by experience, right? And of course, I'm rambling right now, but it's true because I'm trying to articulate it in a way that is in the way that I understand, and that I think that you guys can also relate to. But I think it's whenever you understand, like, it's never going to be over. The struggle is never going to be over, and it's probably best to step back and give up that struggle entirely. I think you can recognize it. I'm not saying not to avoid your issues entirely or ignore them or something like that. Like, that's not helpful, of course, but to recognize them for what they are, and actually the crucial role they play in your life and in your happiness, because it is in that struggle, these goals that we set for ourselves, it's in overcoming these goals and obstacles that we actually find happiness from, right? That progression is what allows us to be happy. And so we need that struggle. We need that difficult time in our life, whether we think that we do during that moment or not. But I think it's whenever we understand that's where our happiness is derived from, is from checking the boxes off things, but also making sure that we don't get so caught up in looking towards that horizon that is never ending, and also making sure right now is okay, and we're appreciating this moment, whatever you're doing right now, because this is all we have, right? The future never actually gets here. If that doesn't sound too woo-woo to you guys, but it's just like the future never comes. You only have this moment, just like the past. You can't, like, of course you can look back on the past, but it's just, the past is just a memory, right? We have the past, it's a memory, and then the future, anticipation. These are both just thoughts that are occurring right now. You know what I'm saying? And so if you need that balance of both of these things to, I think, fully be okay with what is going on in your current situation. And I'm not saying being okay, like it's okay to suffer the shitty things that are happening, or that you deserve it, or anything like that. I think that being aware of it and not fighting against that struggle and the experience that you're having right now, and trying to not attach some type of story or your own interpretation of what it is. Because with everything that's going on right now, like, it is what it is a cliche, but it really is what it is. There's nothing that any of us can really do about it, except just put one foot in front of the other. And I think that we need to constantly reflect on where we've been up until this moment, be thankful for this moment that we're in right now, whatever it is that you're experiencing right now. And then also having the guts and having the grit to get through these shitty times in order to better your life later on. But yeah, man, I know there's been a lot of rambling in this, but I think the burden of ambition is tough to, explain on this minisode, and I clearly, I can't say that I completely understand it or anything like that, but it's something that I've thought about a lot, because I do find myself constantly wanting more, or comparing myself to others, or comparing myself to my old self, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that struggle. It's that war that's going on in your head constantly, over and over and over and over again. And I think the solution comes from giving up the struggle completely. It is what it is. And we need to stop attaching these stories or our own interpretations of what's going on, or how things should be, or how things might be in the future, and dreading whatever that may look like, and realize all we have is now. All we have is now. Yeah, guys, I hope that was helpful. That's about all I have to say on that. If you want to learn a little bit more about this topic from people who are smarter than me, I would recommend the book that I mentioned earlier, Already Free by Bruce Tift. It's a combination of psychotherapy and Buddhism. And another app I would recommend checking out is Sam Harris's Waking Up app. He's a neuroscientist, but he's also big into meditation, mindfulness, and just being present and experiencing whatever it is that you're experiencing in this moment, and being okay with it, basically. So yeah, check those out. I hope this helped. Does this help? Let me know. Send me a message, and let me know what you thought about this, or if you have anything to add. I would love to hear from you guys. But all right, that's it for Minisode number 30 on the More Than Fitness podcast. As always, thank you so much for listening and for watching. See ya.